Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, guess what? Remember about a month and a half ago, Russia deployed some MiG-31, I think they were MiG-31M or something like that, deployed it to Belarus. And those are fighter jets, planes, aircraft that can carry the supersonic Kinzhal missiles, the ones that can have nuclear weapons attached to, you know what I mean? So they were all scrambling for, oh my god, these guys are going to do this, are going to do that. Remember, there are three Kinzhals in Kaliningrad. Look where Kaliningrad is, and then you're going to find out that that's very worrisome for some countries. So now what's going on with these guys? It seems like the Russians are removing those MiG-31 and they get them somewhere else, and everybody's like, where are you going, guys? Well, let's find out. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It's from today, December 1st, 2022. Fighter jets that can carry Kinzhal hypersonic missiles leave Belarus. Which way? West, north, south, or east? It's very important, right? The coordinates. So, 3 MiG-31K, not MK, anyway, fighter jets that can carry Russian Kh-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles are leaving the territory of Belarus, heading to Russia. Belarusky Hajun, an independent Belarusian military monitoring outlet, reported that, according to the information from the monitoring outlet, 3 MiG-31K jets of the Russian Air Force with the side numbers of RF-92462, RF-92339 and RF-92333 are leaving Belarus to the Sevastopol airfield. Okay, and that is in the Novgorod Oblast, Russia. As Belarusky Hajun reported, a branch of the 4th Center for Command Employment and Retraining of personnel of the Ministry of Defense of the Russia is stationed there. So these guys are training people before they let them go in and fight. You remember when this guy said, oh, the Russians just mobilize so many people and just get them straight to the front, from the recruitment centers straight to the front. And we find out, wait a second, retraining personnel of the Ministry of Defense of Russia is stationed there too. And I had another article that said that some Russians from that particular area were transferred to the front in Ukraine. Not in Belarus, in Ukraine. So they have this kind of centers that train people and tell them, hey, you go left, right, all together. This is the automatic weapon. These are your little click, 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 and let's go. It's only rock and roll. So, on November 1st, the British Defense Intelligence reported that Russia transferred interceptor fighter jets to the territory of Belarus on November 1st, a month ago. These planes may carry Kinzhal missiles on board in order to send a message to the West and present Belarus as the one that is getting more and more involved in the war. Well, if they're involved, then what are you? On November 2nd, Belarusky Hajun stated that there were 3 MiG-31 or 31K interceptor jets of the Russian Air Force deployed at the Muchulinsky airfield in Belarus. Yuri Ignat, spokesperson for the Air Force of Ukraine, has said that the deployment of the X-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic air-to-surface missile to Belarus does not mean that they become more or less dangerous for Ukraine. Well, it's okay. You just make sure that you keep an eye on these guys, and I guarantee you they did. Because it's something that you can't prevent, you can't stop, obviously, so it's a very dangerous situation. Well, they went to Russia with the Kinzhal, or the Kinzhal remained there. Not that it really matters, but if these guys were transferred there and you want them back, they can come back in a few hours, obviously, and attach the Kinzhal and bye-bye, whomever they want to hit. But that's not going to be the case, because this crazy terrorist state, Russia, somehow keeps a kind of sanity. Somehow, you know what I mean? I mean, they say, oh, this is a terrorist state. If those guys, imagine that Putin would be I don't know, ISIS. Or let's say they are Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, whomever, some of these guys, you know what I mean. And they would have everything the Russians have. You mean like, if they would have that, what do you think they would have done with it? Look at it and polish it. I look good, baby doll. Do you think that's what they have done? Or they would say, the first day, not even would not be the first day, would be the first and last, the whole thing. So, you know, when you call these guys terrorists, it's such an inflated or deflated, better put, because you use it too many times, it deflates the currency. You put it on the market too often. Then you degraded the name terrorist. Yeah, it's true. They do this, they hit this, they kill this. All right, well, it's okay, because it's okay in a way that the how do you call it? The Americans did certain things like this in Serbia, if you remember, 1999, blowing up the Chinese embassy. So I don't hear anybody being, you know, brought in front of any trials or anything like that, or, you know, nothing. They say that was collateral damage, and people died over there. Civilians, Chinese, not Serbians, Chinese. And they say, oh, my bad, let's move on. So when they proclaim that Russia is a terrorist state for doing this, then what about the other guys? And the other guys, they say, well, look, the Russians are blowing up Ukrainian infrastructure. Did NATO in 1999 blow any Serbian infrastructure? I remember they kind of did. No? Okay. Well, maybe I should refresh my memory. But in the meantime, why don't you check and find out? Okay? So I don't have to say it here on YouTube. All right? Anyway, that's why I don't like. I don't like hypocrisy, and when you give someone a pass because he's my friend for now, or I'm using him for now, and the minute I don't need that guy, I'm going to discard him and I'm going to put him back in a roster where he's going to be treated like everybody else, like a weasel. Now, what does that make me? A honest, law-abiding citizen and all that? Just person? No. I'm even worse than that guy over there. Why? Because I have the power to control it, and I control it in a negative way. That guy did not have the power to control where he's going to be placed. I did. And I didn't do the right thing. So the same here. Well, Kinzhal is there. The airplanes are not there. But the airplanes can show up quickly. The same thing in Kaliningrad. I think they have 3. Why 3? I don't know. I'm just thinking. Because these guys are making... the worst thing for a threat is not to give the details. When you want to threaten someone, like in the military or whatever, you don't tell them, well, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do this to you, because that's going to offer the other side opportunity to prepare, you know, and say, okay, well, this is it. But if you say, well, I'm going to catch you when it's dark, and you say, what the hell is he going to do? He's going to make love to me? What is he going to do? You know what I mean? So it makes your imagination work, and you get scared by your own thoughts. The same here. Why are those 3 Kinzhal in Kaliningrad? Are they for, I don't know, Berlin, London, and Paris? I just said it, you know what I mean? The same thing. Why were there only 3 Kinzhals in Belarus? Berlin, London, and Paris? I mean, it's kind of like a coincidence, but I don't want to make things up. Who knows? Only the dictator over there in Kremlin knows. Anyway, we'll see. Thank you very much. I hope we don't. But anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.